different MuleSoft and customer responsibilities for Anypoint Runtime Fabric instances. Here you can see a different MuleSoft and customer responsibilities for Anypoint Runtime Fabric instances. So here you can see the Anypoint Runtime Fabric as a shared responsibility. A successful operation of Anypoint Runtime Fabric is a shared responsibility. It is critical to understand which areas you provide and manage and which areas MuleSoft provides. This following image illustrates different MuleSoft and customer responsibilities for Anypoint Runtime Fabric instances. MuleSoft provides a runtime fabric agents. Mule runtime engine this is runtime fabric agent, Mule's runtime engine Mule, and other dependencies used to deploy Mule applications. The runtime fabric agent deploys and manages the Mule applications by generating and updating Kubernetes resources such as deployments, pods, replica sets, and ingress resources. Runtime fabric core services. Anypoint runtime fabric core services. Anypoint runtime fabric and its underlying component run as a Kubernetes deployment object in EKS, AKS, GKE, and Red Hat OpenShift environments. AWS and AWS here. You manage the objects and via Anypoint platform. Linux based operating systems are required for all nodes that run runtime fabric components in Kubernetes clusters. The runtime fabric agent. Runtime fabric agent is deployed as a pod in the cluster and communicates with the control plane via an MTLS outbound connection established at startup. The agent is event driven. When an application state change generates a Kubernetes event, the agent sends the metadata describing the current state of the application to the control plane. Kubernetes events include application pod start and updates and restarts. The agent also listens for incoming request from the control plane. When the agent received the message from the control plane, the agent makes the changes to the Kubernetes resources specified in the message. Such changes include creating new application, updating an existing application, and deleting an application. Mule cluster IP service provides an API that Mule applications use to discover their peers inside the cluster. Resource cache provides a cluster local cache of the application dependencies. These services are isolated within the core runtime fabric installation, namespace, and replicas. These services do not multiply as applications or nodes increase. Application services. Runtime fabric install the following application services only when they are configured by users. Persistence gateway, provides the persistent object store version 2 interface to Mule application replication configured by user. Anypoint monitoring sidecar for monitoring and logging one sidecar deployed per application replica. Customer manage. Customers are responsible for providing configuration and managing the Kubernetes cluster used for Runtime Fabric. Additional configuration used to set up or enable capabilities on the Kubernetes cluster, such as those listed in a moment, are also the customer responsibility to manage. Ingress controller and customization to ingress resources. External load balancing, log forwarding, monitoring, network ports, NAT gateways and proxies, host runtime and networking, provisioning and management of Kubernetes environment. This requires assistance from the following teams in your organization: IT team to provision and manage the infrastructure, network team to specify allowed ports and configure proxy settings, security team to verify compliance and obtain security certificates. Here you can see admin is connected to Anypoint platform control plane and AWS, EKS, GKE and Red Hat OpenShift, and here you can see load balancers. Runtime Fabric agent components, ingress registry optional, monitoring and matrices and logging, proxies and nodes and storage and host runtime and networking inside network. Here you can see Runtime Fabric agent and components. Below you can see ingress, registry optional, monitoring, matrices and logging, proxies. Here you can see below that you can see nodes and Mule applications and APIs and runtimes are in nodes. And below you can see storage, and then under that you can see host runtime and networking. Here the customer managed AWS, EKS, JKE, runtime, JKE and Red Hat OpenShift, load balancers and ingress, registry optional, monitoring, matrices, logging, proxies, storage and host runtime and networking. Mule provided Anypoint platform control plane, Runtime Fabric agent and components, and runtimes in nodes. Now this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for watching it.